Welcome back to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from day 3 of the Singapore Fintech Festival. And joining me for this segment, we have Casper Johansen. He's the co-founder and partner over at the Spartan Group. We're going to take a look at how crypto and blockchain are impacting the future of investment banking. Casper, it's great to have you with us. And you come from investment banking at Goldman Sachs,
that's right.
Of all places, for more than a decade. And I'm interested in your views to see the difference between the similarities of the transactions that you did on the Goldman side and what you're seeing on the crypto side.
I mean, we first got into the space in early 17 when we were investing, and we realized that for a bunch of the companies that we were investing in, when they started doing the ICO processes, they were completely different and weren't run as professionally as what we saw in banking. We thought we could add a lot of value to that. So when we got involved, the processes were very chaotic, very early stage, but over the past few years, they've really professionalized to the point where the latest transaction we worked on was an SEC-approved token issuance. So it's really changed a lot over that time period, and it's looking more and more like traditional markets.
Do you think blockchain and crypto and tokenizing of assets is going to become more mainstream in the industry, and are you concerned about competition from larger banks as they start to catch on?
Right. I think you're already seeing it coming into the space. There are some mainstream tech companies like Facebook, Tencent, Alibaba, all these large players are already moving into the space. There's a number of banks moving into the space, so I think very much so. It is becoming more and more mainstream. It'll go through different phases, but we're already seeing it. In terms of competition, really not concerned at all. I think if the big banks start coming into the space, it's a really good sign. It means the sector's become very, very large, and we'll all do quite well from it, I think.
Some of the challenges with adoption is, the traditional markets, we have a few large dominant exchanges. Yeah. Crypto has hundreds, it's fragmented, that's no secret there. Why is that, and do you think that's why crypto is just a fundamentally very different sector?
I think if you look at the traditional market, one of the big things with exchanges is licensing. Most of the crypto exchanges, 99% probably, are not licensed, so the barrier to entry is not as high. Likewise, the actual assets that they trade, they don't have to go and find the listing necessarily. Because they're blockchain assets, anyone can choose to list them. However, they make their money on trading fees and listing fees. So over time, the sector will consolidate, and we're already seeing that. The volume's already consolidating significantly towards the bigger exchanges. So I don't think it'll look like traditional market, but it's moving more and more to kind of a smaller group of exchanges that are driving volume.
Now you mentioned that Spartan, you primarily work with U.S. clients on assessing Asia.
Yeah.
Why is Asia such a big focus for U.S. companies? I mean, clearly looking around at the over 70,000 plus people here at the Singapore Fintech Festival, there's something here about approaching the Asian markets. What is it from the crypto perspective?
I think the sector, more than any other sector I've ever seen, has gone global immediately. So companies now, regardless of where they're based, US, Europe, they look at global adoption, and Asia has been one of the quickest areas or regions to adopt crypto, be it China, Japan, Korea. There's been a huge amount of interest. So that is very important for the projects to get traction, to have Asia as part of their playbook. At the same time, it's very difficult for many of them because they're typically not used to doing business in Asia, and they need a local partner, and you can't just take content and reuse it directly. It needs a lot of localization, so hence the need for a local partner. And
Singapore, why choose Singapore as the hub for the advisory business?
I think that's also another reason why Asia is important. Is it's just from a regulatory perspective, it's more accommodative, it's more business friendly in terms of letting the sector run and see what it leads to, and that's why Singapore is also a good hub. It's very, very business friendly. It's very supportive of fintech in general, as you see with the Singapore Fintech Festival. It's also very supportive of the blockchain sector, and it's a great hub to travel in and out of for the region, and there's all these big conferences here, and there's a really strong ecosystem, so it's a great hub for Asia and globally.
All right, Casper, thanks so much for joining us at the Fintech
Thank
Festival.
You.
And thank you for joining me throughout the day on Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.